Hello, I'm Paul and welcome to MG Tracy. Now, one of the things I discovered too late in life, only really when I was working with a very good dentist making some videos, was just how important it is to look after your teeth. And particularly when you get to my age, if you've got some complications based on different blood pressure medicines and things, they can play havoc with your gums. And what it means is you've got to spend a lot more time looking after your teeth. And the key bit that I think most people get wrong is, one, how often they see a hygienist. You need to be doing this a couple of times a year, really make sure that you are getting all the food debris and plaque away from your teeth. But number two is a much more regimented routine on using floss. So let me show you how to really floss your teeth really well, and they literally should last you a lifetime. Brushes are really good, but they do not get in between teeth. And when you look at teeth that have been extracted, many of them, the decay has basically gone in from the side. The biting and the bit you see is absolutely fine because it's been cleaned. But unless you're flossing, and I would say at my age, you've got to do this a couple of times a day, it can be a bit horrific how much food comes out when you're a bit older, but don't worry about that. You should certainly be getting all the plaque off. So you really need to build in a good routine with flossing, as well as your electric toothbrush, and making sure you've got a decent mouthwash as well. I've made some videos already on teeth, and they've had so many views, so thank you to everybody on that one. But today we can just concentrate on how to floss your teeth. So today, with the help of Snappy here, I'm going to be showing you how to make sure that you floss your teeth and you manage to keep your teeth for a lifetime. So the main issue everybody has, and I didn't realise this till I was working with dentists, is we all have a good go here along the side with our electric toothbrush, and on the top here and inside there, which of course is good, and that keeps all the visible surfaces really clean. However, if you look at teeth that have been extracted, you're going to find an awful lot of them, actually, the decay has started in the gaps. Basically it's this bit here, and this is because actually we're not all as good as flossing as we think we are, and it means that your regime with cleaning your teeth with a brush and a mouthwash and floss is probably going to sacrifice you 10 minutes a day, but that's pretty good. All too often we go to the dentist, and by the time we get to the dentist it's too late. He's actually dealing with a cavity or something, isn't he? What a hygienist is going to do is help you and train you how to look after your teeth so that you don't need any work. So actually, if you think about it, it's going to save you a lot of money and a lot of pain and allow you to keep hold of it. Unfortunately for me, I was quite late in life when that light bulb moment hit. So what we're trying to do is prevent tooth decay and to prevent gum decay here. First job you could do, make sure you've washed your hands or gelled your hands before you start putting them in your mouth. And next thing is there's lots of different types of floss. And it really depends on what state your teeth are in. For me, where I've had lots of work, there are different size gaps, and I need different things to get in them to effectively clean those sides of the teeth. But the easiest one to start, and even with my big hands and my equally large gob, I can get at all the teeth with this type of floss. And what you're trying to do is, with a gentle sawing action, go down the side here, but then remember, you need to go below the gum line a little bit, because that's where some of the plaque will be, particularly if you're older and the gum, it is not as tight a seal on the bottom of that tooth. So you use a gentle sawing action. And that's what's going to happen to your teeth if you don't clean them, isn't it? You need a gentle sawing action going in, and then a slight pull down and then up, and then on the other side of the tooth it's the same. So you're really trying to get the side of that tooth clean, and any plaque and food that has got stuck below the gum line. And if you're like me, you'll be a bit horrified the first time you do it, just how much there is there, and you need to do that. And you need to do this without there being too much force on all of your teeth, top and bottom. Now I do it twice a day, otherwise I start finding if I leave anything in there, I start getting bleeding gums. Now there are other things you can buy depending on how large the gaps are in your teeth. This is one from Oral-B that's called Super Floss. And if you've not seen this, it's quite an unusual looking thing. So this is thin and wider floss basically. So what you have with Oral-B Super Floss or any other brand you can get hold of, you've got a much wider bit here. So you've got a thin, and then you've got quite a nice thicker piece here, much more cottony. And what this is allowing you to do, if you've got more of a gap, is yes, you can thread it in initially with the thin bit, but if you've got more of a gap, you've got almost like a mini toothbrush here to go down and really get any food and plaque that's got lodged. Remember, you're trying to clean all the side of this tooth and a little bit below the gum line, because this is where the decay often starts. It doesn't start on the bit you can see, because we're all pretty good at cleaning that. So it's getting them. So if you have a bigger gap, you may find that a super floss is quite good. And you can always talk this through with your hygienist. If you have difficulty getting at some, then obviously a lot of people use harps. You can get these like this, or you can even get charcoal ones now. Don't worry if you get a bit of a twang as it go in. It's that sawing motion again. Down, try and get underneath the teeth and then back up. And then you'll start to see plaque on here, or food debris. And then you'll find there's a whole host of other things that your dentist may recommend. Here in the UK we have TP, which are something like this. So this is a much bigger brush. So if you've had a crown or a bridge or something, you may find this actually can go in a bigger gap to make sure you're getting all the debris out. The different colours are different girths, different thicknesses there of that. And if they don't do, there's even a really thin little disposable one here where you can just poke that in here and give it a little bit of a, so it goes right through, and then a gentle motion at the bottom there will make sure you've got any plaque and the bacteria out. There are other sorts here as well with longer handles, and you can pop that on there. But really you have to experiment with your teeth or talk with your hygienist and just make sure there is a way for you to get into all these gaps and get them clean. And it will vary. You know, I have quite a bit in my armoury because different teeth have ended up with different gaps to make sure that we can get at that. And it's the same in the top. If you've got a larger gap there, just get in there. So once you've finished and you have done that, I say I do mine twice a day, then you can either finish off with your electric toothbrush, or if you've done brushing first, then make sure you at least rinse out your mouth. At a separate time, generally midday, so it doesn't interfere with anything else I'm doing, I use a mouthwash as well. Now, in the UK, this is a sort of medicated one. There's two. There's this one that the doctor or dentist will recommend for you if you've had recent work and you've got open wounds, to make sure no infection can get in it. You can't use this one for too long because it'll discolour your teeth. So there is a daily version. And because for me, with some of the blood pressure tablets, one of the side effects is your gums overgrow. They get a bit more active. And if you're not looking after them really well, they will bleed. If I have a problem with that, then Cordycel for me, or I'd use other mouthwashes when I'm in the States. It just makes sure that I'm getting rid of any bacteria that's left, and if there is any bleeding, it's healing up that part of your gums. So this is definitely worthwhile doing. Make sure you've built in flossing into your regime in whatever way. Find whatever tool you need. I'll put links below. Whatever tool you need to get in and make sure you're cleaning all those gaps. I found out too late. Hopefully you found it early enough to do something about it. Is it a pain in the bum? Yes. You know, if you're late at night and you're too tired, trying to do all of this and then clean your teeth as well, you're almost fully woken yourself up before you get into bed. But otherwise, you are leaving all that bacteria feeding away, creating acid all night on your teeth, particularly if you've trapped a bit of food in there, a bit of steak or something and not realised. You're leaving all that in there to really have a field day at night, and you don't want to do that. So hopefully you found that useful. If you've got any questions, please ping them below and I'll try and come back to you within a day or so. Thank you for watching to the end. Hopefully you found that useful and you now can look after your teeth and make them last a lifetime. I'll put the links to some of my other dental videos which are below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you can. Always welcome a super thanks, and you can buy me a coffee that way if I've helped you. This is Paul from London and I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio for now.